Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com and Dev Nursery. And if you haven't joined Dev Nursery and joined the Slack community or the Discord community, please do so. There's a lot of other cool devs there, great networking, great place to ask questions, and if you want to give a request for a video you'd like to see, that's where you can find me. So message me on there. I'm more than glad to take requests for content you guys want to see covered. But today we're going to continue on with C++. Okay, so in the last video we just kind of reiterated that most things in C++ are exactly the same as they are in C, because literally C++ is just C with classes. So today we're going to get into the thing that kind of is more different, which is going to be classes. So if you watch any video where I've covered classes in pretty much any language, I'm going to use the same example I always use, which is a dog. So we're going to create class dog, okay, and just like most languages, we use the keyword class and then the name of the class, usually with an uppercase letter. I'm going to actually clear all this stuff out. Okay. Class dog, okay? So basically the definition of our class, which is a collection of functions and variables that's supposed to encapsulate an idea. So in this case, encapsulate the idea of a dog. Now in this case, what we do is we use the words public, private, and protected. Now, a public property is a property that basically is accessible outside of the class. So for example, if we say that a dog has a string called name, actually again there are no strings in, so it would be like car, name, and we'll just say spot. We'll initialize it right here because I'm not going to introduce constructors quite yet. Array bound cannot be deduced from an in-class initializer. Boo. Okay, so let's just initialize it. Car name, and then int the dog has an age. Okay, let's see what is it not like now. Incomplete type car. Okay. So we'll do this. Name. That's what I want to do, and I think I need a semicolon here, right? Yep. Okay, so again, these are public properties. Right now they don't have a value, so we need an initializer, aka a constructor. Okay, so the syntax for a constructor in C++, I should know it. It's one of the first things I ever studied, but let's go back and take a look. Where am I looking? Classes and objects. I want to look at the constructor. There we go. Okay, and then we just see here, constructor, class line. Okay, so there we go. It's just a function with the same name, and a destructor should be one with a tilde in front of it. Good. Okay. Oh, that's something else. Some Ruby on Rails stuff. That's over here. Okay, so in that case, what we'll do is we'll define a constructor. Okay, and we'll just say dog. Okay, and this dog function is going to take in name and age. And again, we gotta type them, so car. That is taking an array of characters. This is taking an age. Then we take the definition of the function. And we want to say this dot name, so that's referring to this equals name. And why does it not like that? Signing a car from incompatible type car, deference. Okay, fine. So I think it wants me to do this over here. And now this. Okay. So it wants me to do this. There we go. Okay, this name, because it's a pointer, so it wants me to point to the property of the object. Because this is going to be pointing to the instance's access in memory. So this individual dog's name equals name, and then this age equals age. Okay, so this is what's called a constructor. So since this is a function that belongs to the class that has the same name as the class, so whenever we create a new dog, okay, a new dog is going to immediately run this function, okay, which immediately will take the arguments I'm going to pass in and assign them to these properties. Okay, cool. So now we just need to make a dog. Okay, let's take a look here. So what we're going to do, oh, went back to the Ruby on Rails stuff. Here we go. Int main, we're going to create a new dog. So we type it because it's a dog type, and we're going to call it Sparky. And Sparky is going to equal the name Sparky, and it's going to be age 6. So just by typing it, you're kind of instantiating it. Let me just see what it doesn't like here. Does not allow conversion from string literal to car. Well, I'll let that one go. Query. Oh, need a semicolon there. Okay. Oh yeah, this gets to that whole issue where we need the string copy library. Well, let's just see how it goes. Okay, and then next we will take, we will count, or standard count. And what we want to count, or character out, we want a character out, Sparky dot age. Okay, what does it not like about that? Where's it the other way around? I think the arrows are the other way around. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool, let's run that. It's going to complain about this. What it wants me to do is run some string copy function here, so I can't just assign a string directly to an array of characters. I have to use a special function for that, but let's see if it lets me get by. Okay. Allow conversion from string literal. Yep. Yeah. So it really wants me to just fix that. So let's go over here to strings. Okay, let's see here. What's the name of the library? C string. And what if I want to copy one string copy? I see. Okay. Stir copy, and the library is called C string, so I'll just copy that from here. Let's see if REPL will let me use it. Oh, nope, that's local. Okay, and then theoretically what I need to do is this str copy. And basically this is the destination, so I want it to go to this name, and the source I want it to be the name that's passed in. And then just need a semicolon, and see if REPL allows me, that'll do the job. Yep. Oh no. Oh, let's see. It does not allow conversion from string literal. They're not saved. Dog Sparky to, let's see here. Let's try this. What if I call this new name? So call this car new name equals name. Now what isn't it like that? String literal. Okay, doesn't like that. That's essentially what we're doing. Copying string 1 to string 3. Again, this has nothing to do with classes. I just wanna solve it because it'll bug me. Okie dokie. Not gonna fight with it right now. Okay, so we'll just pop out that line. Just never initialize that particular property. Okay. Let's just see here. This will give me that this. It wants me to get past that. So I want to take this out of the constructor function. So that was only one parameter, and we're just going to pass in one thing right now, just to kind of illustrate the point. There it goes. And there's 6. There's the age, which printed right there, really small letters. Okay, but the point is it works. So the idea is we created a new dog called Sparky. We passed in something to its constructor, and now it has an age of 6. Okay, cool. And then we can give this dog methods. Okay, so I can be like, let's give this dog a method of bark. Void bark. Even though I called it Bard, so let me change that to bark. Okay. Void bark, and what we're going to do is say count bark new line character semicolon. Okay, so that's what that does. So now I should be able to use sparky.bark, and then we'll see that Sparky says bark bark. See? Bark bark. And the 6 right before it because I didn't put a new line there. So I should do this. There we go. So that way there's a new line there. 6 bark bark. Okay, cool. That's neat. So again, it's a class. Like if you've seen in other languages. Except like C++ was really sort of the OG OOP language that really hit it big. There were other ones that had, you know, different versions of classes beforehand, but C++, when they added classes to C, was sort of really a turning point in programming history. Okay. Neat. Thing I want to show you is just inheritance. So let's go past this, and we'll say class dog, and I think it's just you'll do something like this. Let me just go back and take a look at the exact syntax. Inheritance, I think it's just a couple semicolons if I remember right. Probably, yep, there we go. So yes, it's a colon, and I went back to the Ruby on Rails thing again. Here we go. So we're gonna call this small dog as the new class, which is basically a public dog. Okay, and then we put a semicolon there. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is that now if I create a small dog, so if I make Sparky a small dog, okay, no matching constructor for initialization of small dog, so I have to recreate at least the constructor, it looks like, for C, public, small dog, int, age, constructor small dog must explicitly initialize a base class dog, which does not have a default. Okay, I'm assuming it's like something like this, dog. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we have the class here. Let's see, derived class rectangle public shape. But neither of them has a constructor, so they don't run into this issue. Let's see here, like we have an example with a constructor. Public void. Constructor D, constructor. Let's go back down here. Let's find one with inheritance, possibly. line, public line doubling, that's fine. I get it that these constructors just one with a tilde in front of it. That runs when you destroy the object. Which I guess they don't go into here. So we'll just have to search for it. C++. Invoking parent constructor. Here we go. Let's see here. Class space int. There's the constructor. Okay, this is based on base. Let's find the constructor for that. Derived. Double cost. Derived. Derived. Yep. I'd have to spend some more time reading that. Okay, the point is that it wants me to create a constructor. It doesn't automatically just rely on the parent constructor. So when I do this, see Sparky, no matching constructor for initialization of small dog. So even though small dog exists, it doesn't want to do anything with it. Small dog. Okay, well, the point is that's how you would create the child class. The problem is since I have that constructor issue, what I could do is I could just take out the constructor issue by just removing the constructor. Okay, so now it just has, there's no arguments being passed into there. Okay, we're not going to, so in that case it just has a name and an age property, but they're not initialized, so I'd have to set them manually. Okay, and then small dog, that's fine now. Let's see here, empty parentheses interpret as function declaration, that's fine. Okay, small dog Sparky, because again there is no constructor, so we don't need to invoke it. So now I can be like Sparky. Now Sparky.bark will still work, because even though small dog has no bark function, since it inherits from public dog, it'll have access to the bark function that is on dog. So if I run this, I should still get bark bark. Yep, bark bark. And right now, since I don't have a constructor, I'm just going to manually give the dog a name. So small dog dot name. Let's see if it even lets me do that. Let's actually just do it with age first, just to make sure that it works. Age 5. Oh, and again, it's not called small dog, it's Sparky. Yep, and see that lets me set it. And then I can count. Standard count. Sparky.age. And then make sure we have a new line. Semicolon, and then we can still use bark bark. So even though it's a small dog type, it has access to all the things that big dog has, and I could technically add more if I wanted to. So now this starts getting into the difference between public and protected. Now if I change this to protected, I can still access these properties here in small dog, but see, I'm going to error now that I'm accessing them directly outside of the class in the main program. So see, then it errors because you're not supposed protected. Again, they can be inherited and manipulated in the inherited class, but not out in the main area. And then if it's private, if I change this to private, then I can only access that property within this class definition. I can't access it outside of it. Okay, so that way, if there's certain functions that are being used under the hood that the person who's using the class should never be able to directly access, you can hide them. Okay, and that's basically the basics of classes in C++. Yeah, there's some details with the constructor I got to read on, but this gives you the idea. I mean, it's C++. Everything else is the same. So for things like pointers and structs, I recommend watching my C video on that because it's literally the exact same syntax for C++. So watch the C videos, then watch the C++ videos, and you'll know both. Pretty cool, right? But I'll see you guys later on. Have a great day and enjoy.